So there was a time during this whole COVID-19 thing that I thought to myself, I wouldn't mind just getting away, going to a cabin, just, relaxing, take my mind off things. Fuck that. The Lodge stars Riley Keough, Jaden Martell, and is directed by Severin Fiala and Veronica Franz. What is up, guys? Welcome to another brand new 2020 review. It feels like it's been forever since I did a brand new movie review for this year. But here we are, finally. The Lodge was actually on, or is actually on Hulu right now. So I found that out a couple days ago through Killer Flicks, I think, and I got excited. This is a movie I've been wanting to watch all year. This was on my top 10 most anticipated horror movies list. So I'm glad I finally was able to watch this. This will be a spoiler-free review. There are some things in this movie that I would love to discuss that are spoilerific, but I'm not going to do that because this is still a very fresh new movie, and I want you guys to go into this not knowing anything, because there are some scenes, and these scenes could be in the first act, the second act, the third act, but they're shocking. There's a few shocking scenes. Like, there was literally one scene in this movie, and I'm not going to tell you where it was. Like, let me try to set up my reaction for you guys, okay? I'm literally sitting on the couch with my wife watching this movie, and then I did this. Holy shit! Like that. That's exactly what happened. I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer either, even though I don't know if the trailer might have hinted at this, but yeah. So anyway, before we dig deep, let me give you a quick plot synopsis. This couple, Laura and Richard, they are in the middle of a divorce, okay? And they have these two children. And so Richard tells his wife, Laura, played by Alicia Silverstone, nice to see her back, actually. I've seen her in a few things, actually, lately. And it's nice to see Alicia back. I haven't seen her in that many movies. But he breaks the news to her that he wants to finalize the divorce. He is in a relationship with this girl, Grace, played by Riley Keough. Tiptoeing around any spoilers, he ends up going to a cabin with his two children and Grace. And this is like 6 months into the relationship. We bounce forward. We do that sometimes in movies. And so he's with the two children, Aiden and Mia. There's a point in this movie where Richard has to leave them, okay? And Aiden and Mia are stuck in this house with Grace. Let's talk about Grace for a minute, okay? Grace is from like this religious cult. There's a scene in the movie where Mia and Aiden, they find this video file on the computer, and they get a little bit of Grace's past, and like I said, she was involved in this like religious cult, and we all know that a lot of times religious cults don't end in the best results, and a lot of times it can be damn near tragic. But this is when Grace was very young. She was in her teens. So in this movie, this is like 10 years later, okay? And she takes this medication to keep her level-headed. And I found a lot of like parallels with religion in this movie. It's like she was taking the medication to keep that religious side of her life from taking over and, I guess, re-controlling her. I guess religion was her dark side, and I can buy this because I think a lot of times religion can be a dark thing. Some people can take it too far. I think some of the scariest movies involve religion, like The Exorcist. And that is definitely the case in this movie. But there's a point in this movie concerning the character of Grace where the lines of sanity and reality blur. And there's a point where you don't know if it's reality or if it's something else. And I think that is perfect for a horror movie. Think The Shining, stuff like that. Now, also, this is one of those like cabin in the woods type of films. It's in the winter around Christmas time, so there's snow on the ground. And you're going to see like a lot of love for The Thing in this movie. They're literally watching The Thing, and they take a line from the movie, The Thing, where he says, cabin fever. And it relates to this movie. But you can tell that the directors, they're big fans of The Thing. And of course, the Carpenter fan in me geeked out tremendously. And if you remember in The Thing, that movie was about paranoia and about characters not trusting each other. And there's a lot of that in this. This is definitely an exercise in paranoia and tension. And I've seen online some say that this is a slow burn. And I would agree with them. It is a slow burn, but I don't think a slow burn is necessarily a bad thing if the story is engaging. And I found the story completely engaging from start to finish, actually. And to me, I think there's a barometer there. There's a test for that. If within, say, 10, 15 minutes, I can test myself on the characters and know their names, which I could in this movie immediately, that's because we have a strong script, we have strong writing, and you are invested in the characters. And within 15 minutes, I knew that it was Aiden, Mia, Grace, Richard, and Laura. These are the pivotal central characters. And I had no problem whatsoever remembering their names. We can recall so many movies, not just horror movies, where after the movie's done, we have to go into IMDb. Hell, when I review movies, a lot of times I have to go into IMDb to get their names because I forget their names because they're just forgettable characters. Not in this movie. I was so engaged in every character in this. I had a lot of emotional responses to characters. Like Richard, for instance. I was angry with this character throughout a lot of this movie. Like, why in the hell would this guy leave his children with this woman who he pretty much knew a lot of her past? But that was a good thing to me. I was invested. And a lot of times when you have different emotional responses to characters, it just makes the movie that much more enjoyable, that much more engaging. And it makes horrific events that happen in the movie in the last act that much more powerful. And my God, is this movie powerful. I will say that. It's one of those movies too where if you had to wager a guess as to which direction it's going, you're probably going to say it's not going to end well. It's just that type of film. And I'm not telling you either way how it ends, but I will say that's the vibe you're going to get as it goes along just because of the character Grace. You know, this is a very dark character. Played exceptionally well by Riley Keough, by the way. But in the end, the thing that I find so effective about this movie is that it takes those things that we hold so sacred, like religion, and it forces us to maybe look at the dark side of those things. And I love when movies do that. And this movie does it amazingly. Very well directed film, by the way. I mean, so well directed. And by the way, the score in this, the music is very effective. It's a movie that actually has a lot of quiet moments, a lot of moments where there is no score. And I think that's very effective, especially in a horror movie, because when the music does come, it can be pretty startling, actually. And sometimes the music just kind of fades in, you know, kind of preparing you for the dread that's about to come. So guys, in the end, I freaking love this movie. I thought really long and hard about my rating. I literally just watched this. Right now, as it stands, I'm giving it a Trapped on an Island. It was that good. My big question to myself is how soon will I watch it again? But a great movie is a great movie. And some movies I don't think you can watch over and over and over. Like Hereditary is a movie that I have to, you know, get myself prepared for. It's not a movie that I can throw in once a month. But Hereditary is still an amazing film. Same thing here. So I don't regret that rating whatsoever. So, have you seen The Lodge? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's a lot of you. As a matter of fact, I know from the comments, there's some that just didn't like this movie. And I completely get that. I understand it. It is a slow burn. But I loved it. Anyway, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays, we'll do free for all Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.